Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Welcome to my channel, Healing with the Majestic Sunset. I am Artest Serena. First thing I would do is clear their energy with some sound. So you may want to turn down your volume a little. Okay, I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. I don't know if this message is going to go out either Saturday night or really, really early Sunday morning. But this is for Saturday evening. I already did the pre-shuffle. And what I can see for whoever this reading may resonate with, you guys are coming from a space where you felt trapped. You felt restricted, whether it was in some type of a dogma, whether it was church, family values, just programming, from society, different belief systems, whether, the marriage structure, whatever this dogma was, you felt restricted, you felt trapped. You may even from a child, you was made to go to church, and there was nothing you can do about, that, but that's who I feel like is going to resonate with this reading. I have not gone too far. Yeah, you guys definitely want to be free from some type of a structure. Take it however it resonate. This could be past, present, future. Whatever situation this is, you know your situation. This could be even a marriage, where you're programmed to believe that you can't get out of that marriage, that church, that whatever belief system, family traditions, but it's time to reprogram yourself, because I see you are the group that's that has to rewire yourself, your mind. You're taking those chains off of your mind. Four of Pentacles to the High Priestess. It's like you guys you felt restricted underneath some type of belief system, but you were meant to go in a more spiritual route, and you guys possibly were told that it was evil, you wasn't supposed to do it, don't tap into that other side, and so you felt some type of restriction, but this High Priestess energy was already built inside of you. It was already built inside of you. There was never going to be anything that anybody could do to keep you from taking action on this part of yourself. You were meant to always wake up. You were meant to always wake up from the traditions that society set for you, your family. A lot of your intuition is very strong. It was even strong in the past. This is something that you possibly, held back from others. The High Priestess, she is the secret keeper. And I believe this is a way that people who were close to you were able to hold on to you, is by restricting you. You know, you were, so you wouldn't get on this more spiritual path. Stalemate, standoff, no way out, non-committal, hold out. Okay, so it just caused delays. Yeah, it just caused delays, but they couldn't stop this with this avalanche energy. It was never gonna be able to stop you forever. You know, it was only so long that these people were allowed to keep you sleep, that they were allowed to keep you from, you know, speaking out, you speaking your truth, you know, knowing the truth. This could be family. Like I said, whatever belief system this was, it kept you restricted, it kept you trapped. And that could have also been a reason why your finances wasn't really growing like it should have. Because for whoever you are, this is for a very specific person. Your finances, they're tied to you being in this high priestess energy. Your finances is tied to the more spiritual realm. And that's why you could never really become stable outside of your family or outside of marriage or just outside of, you know, other people helping you out. So it's almost like you wasn't free to be who you want to be. You felt restricted. You always had to be underneath, you know, somebody, and that's the way that they wanted it. And that's why your finances wasn't growing, and why you, whatever, however you were stable, it was always tied to someone else, other people. Yeah, but you are someone who is, you know, prompted to plant your own seeds, make your own way, and in the spiritual, on the spiritual route. You know, you're given this opportunity by the Most High. So to use your gifts, because your wealth is attached to your spiritual gift. And so being under religion, sorry about that, being under religion or any other structure that kept you from exploring the spiritual side of you, that, you know, you have to come from underneath that. At least you felt that in the past, for you to, you know, feel that freedom, that Nine of Cups energy. You know, you have to do something for you. This is for you. You know, not for other people. You might be a one that wanted, you know, to please, you know, your family. You know, you were someone that they expected to carry on the family traditions. It could even be, you know, you were, you know, bred to carry on a structure like a church, like if your parents are pastors. Yeah, your stability is gonna come from your gift as a high priestess. Your finances are definitely tied to you being on the spiritual path. And for a lot of you, that's where you're planting your new seed. A lot of you were very indecisive about this. That may be one of the reasons why it has taken so long. You know, this could be over the course of many years, you know, that you were indecisive about taking this route, about even enhancing this gift, allowing this gift to grow, and for you to tap in to that world and explore it, you know. Yeah, for whoever has already started a business in the spiritual community, it's slow. You're waiting for your finances to build. Maybe you were waiting for a long time, um, you know, outside of this business for your ships to come in. Like if you were, just in, societal norms. You were waiting for a long time. It's almost like you just wasn't growing. Your finances wasn't growing. It's almost like it feels almost like you were living a mundane life. You were just going through the motions. Marriage, the family life, coming home, going to work, but it was never enough. And, even in this, if you're going to open up a new spiritual business, you have to give it time to grow. And a lot of you are willing to wait for it to grow, wait for your finances to balance out. It's going to be a lot of work. I just saw the 10 of Wands. It's going to be a lot of work. King of Cups and the Fool. So this new opportunity is going to be presented to you. It's like the Most High is presenting this opportunity to you, and it's up to you to actually to go towards this new beginning. So it's almost like as you go towards this new beginning, it's coming towards you as well. That freedom to be yourself, to be able to express yourself creatively. This is your new beginning. And this new beginning will be the opportunity of a lifetime, putting you in this King of Pentacles energy. Going from that 4 of Pentacles where you needed other people, in that 10 of Pentacles, you needed other people to kind of help you be stable. You needed a spouse, you needed a roommate, you needed family. You needed, other people outside of yourself to stay stable. Is because wherever you was investing your time, wherever you was working, it was not for you. The spiritual community is for you. Whoever you are, this could be just one person, but whoever you are, the spiritual community is that community that's for you. The place that you were guided to stay away from. But what you want wants you back. A lot of you right now really want this. You are enhancing this gift right now. And as you accept this opportunity from the Most High, your gift will get stronger and you will get more gifts. As you elevate, as you upgrade, as you vibrate higher with each awakening, you will enhance the gifts you already have, and you will be, it's like gifted a brand new gift that maybe you didn't even know you had. The mask, the disguise. There also could be someone with hidden motives. Stars, wishes do come true. Maybe someone thinks that you are wearing a mask. Like if you've already switched from from religion or whatever, if you already broke out of whatever dogma this is, you have someone thinking that you're wearing a mask, that you're not as spiritual as you're coming off. Someone probably think you have hidden motives. But I see that you come in peace. The stars here. True peace. Wishes do come true. You're like following your north node. And this is who you really are. See, okay, you were wearing a mask before, but you were hidden in plain sight. You didn't even know who you were. So this is who you really are. So if you're showing up as a more spiritual person and you was underneath some type of dogma for, many years, decades, you could have already been a person who was married and raised a family. And now it's like you're switching. You're switching sides because you're breaking out, you're taking off the mask. This is who you really are. Not who other people want you to be or who you were taught to be. Somebody wants to come in and confuse you. Especially if you're kind of new to this path, there's going to be someone that's going to come in and try to persuade you and confuse you with their speech, with their words. This person may come off even kind of childish or adolescent. They may not try to come off so reckless, but it's gonna be a little reckless because they're gonna come off as kind of immature. It's like they're trying to intercept you before you have this new beginning. They may come in with some type of a peace offering to you to get you to listen to them so they can confuse you with whatever words they're speaking. This is like word magic, speaking spells. Especially if you're very, coming from a very religious background, they may try to come in with scriptures and Bible, to confuse you about this spiritual path that you're on, that you're taking. I just heard, don't let the enemy confuse you. Somebody think that maybe you're going through a midlife crisis. They think that you're just putting on a show. This more, you're theatrical with that fool in the mask. They thinking that you're putting on a performance. Six of Swords. You're moving away from confusion. So you're setting boundaries. So anything that anyone is going to come in and say to try to persuade you out of this spot, is almost like you lived long enough. You tried all the things that your family told you to try. You already tried the things that you were taught, and they're not working out for you. You just want to be free to be yourself. You are a high priestess. You are a born high priestess. This is who you are. You've been wearing a disguise all these years, disguised as what you were taught, because you didn't know who you were either. You're setting boundaries with anyone coming in trying to persuade you out of this spot. You can't be tricked out of this spot, because once you wake up, you already see the manipulation, the confusion. You're moving away from confusion. Confusion, because you already know confusion is of the devil. So anybody that's coming in to confuse you, you're going to look at them as demonic. And we already know how religious people get. I was raised religious myself, and they can be some of the most judgmental, nasty, hostile people. And they do, for the record, they do more spell work than anybody else. They hoping that you don't believe in it, so you don't protect yourself from their bullshit. They do more. Yeah, you're going on a new cycle, new beginnings. Those cycles, you already learned those lessons. You're no longer underneath their strong delusion, and you're very loving and you're going to be peaceful. This is a peaceful you're already emotionally intelligent. So nobody can come in. You already mastered this Seven of Cups energy. Nobody can come in and confuse you. 7 plus this cup, that's 8 of cups. You're already walking away, being guided away from confusion. It's like you emotionally withdrew before you actually was guided out of there. You were already guided to the truth. You were already guided to end that cycle of confusion. So they can't confuse you. They can't emotionally manipulate you either, because you already mastered that. You've been there, done that. They need a new trick. You protect it, and you're protecting yourself. Nothing is going to take your chariot out of alignment. It's almost like you've been living the way that society has told you to live. You've been living a way that you were raised to live, and you were imbalanced. You didn't see your finances growing. You wasn't really happy. You were just living a mundane life, going to work, coming home, taking care of kids, paying the bills, cooking, cleaning. They thought that's who you were, but that was not who you were. That was who you were taught to be. Not saying that you're not a nurturer in all of those things, but that's not all. You were so much more. You came here to do something more powerful. You came here to set people free spiritually. And you came here to set yourself free as well. But the high priestess, that energy, that, you get messages from the Most High. So you need to bring forth these messages to others. And you're going to use your life experiences to help you guide others out of the same situations that you had to get yourself out of. So now you feel balanced now. So that's why you can't be persuaded, because you stepped into this part of yourself, and now things are falling in alignment. You were out of balance before. And now things are going to be more balanced and stable in your life, especially in your finances. That's where you were mostly imbalanced. Even your physical world, within your body, you felt like you were playing a role, but you just wasn't sure about, who you really were. The high priestess knows more. You probably always was deeply intuitive. You always had a pretty strong discernment, spirit of discernment. You might be a person that they would like to use in church to swindle people out their money. Empress. Yeah. They wanted an empress to be an empress energy to be pretty much in the poorhouse. Because if you don't spiritually grow, you're left out in the cold, because this was the life you're supposed to be living. You were supposed to be cultivating, everything that you need from that spiritual realm. That's what I'm seeing. They wanted you to forever take crumbs and need handouts. But you're a whole empress, and you earned this title from the Most High. You earned this title from all of your struggles in the healing that you're doing on your life. This is not a title that you just got because you have children. This is a title that's earned. spiritually. So they wanted an Empress energy to be in poverty. So you wouldn't know who you were. Because most of the time, how people look at you, they feel like, how could you be an Empress if you physically are poor? So they didn't want anyone to look at you as an Empress. They didn't even want you to know that you were an Empress. Tornado, storm brewing. Yeah, that's that Five of Pentacles energy. Total wreck, breakdown. Somebody probably wanted you to have a nervous breakdown. And maybe that is you hitting rock bottom. Coffin. Yeah, maybe that's you hitting rock bottom at some point in your life. Maybe you didn't understand why your finances, you could never grow them. And it will always be something that took your finances, and once that little bit of money or that savings was gone, it was hard to regenerate it because you wasn't operating out of your Empress energy. And maybe you didn't feel like an Empress because of your financial situation. Maybe this is something that you hide from others, that the emotions that you get because of your finances. Maybe you stayed in very violent situations, turbulent situations because of your finances. Yeah, they never wanted the Empress to be stable. They never wanted you to be able to be free, enjoying the fruits of your labor. They never wanted you to get true happiness and wealth. They never wanted you to have that wealth on the inside. You probably only experienced poverty. So you kept manifesting the things that you've already seen, the things that you already knew, because you never knew any other life for yourself on your own. The Hermit. So you withdrew your energy. You were being drained by others, and you withdrew your energy, and you went inside to go heal, because it's like you want to be a better person. You wanted things to be better. You wanted your finances to be better. And maybe a lot of you started to withdraw from life, withdraw from family, withdraw from nurturing everybody, while you still felt like you didn't have enough. You had to go in and heal. Maybe you had a poverty mindset, because that comes from being taught that in the beginning of your life. Maybe your family didn't have as much. Maybe they didn't just give you that much. Maybe there was some financial abuse going on. Two of Cups, yeah. To the Sun. You in partnership with the universe. You are this generator on your own. You can generate whatever it is that you want. They never wanted you to have this partnership with the Most High. because this partnership was going to really expose who you are and who they are and are not. You are, sorry guys, but you were hidden in plain sight. They never wanted you to have this partnership with the Most High. They wanted you to stay underneath the glass ceiling of their dogma, under religion, family traditions. And you connecting with the Most High, you had to get from under that belief system. And this relationship is the thing that's going to take you out of poverty, not a relationship with another person, but the relationship with the Most High. Because the Most High is going to guide you because you're the high priestess. You work with and for and very closely to the Most High. That's why no other job was ever going to work. You probably was on jobs not getting paid what you was worth. And not just, no job really pay you what you're worth, but I'm talking about enough to be on your own and take care of your family, have a savings, and so on and so forth. To be able to be totally independent. Your job was always supposed to be a partnership with the Most High. And then the Most High will pay you. You're going to get that equal give and take from the universe. And they wanted to keep you confused about this. They wanted to keep you confused because it's almost like, if I take this route, is this the evil route? If I make this decision, if I take this chance to get out of this delusion, it was always meant for you to get out of this. It was always meant for you to heal from whatever confusion. They could never confuse. You were always meant to wake up when it was time for you to wake up. You was never going to stay down there. Whoever you are, you were never going to stay there because you are high priestess energy. Yeah, you laying your burdens down. This is your energy. You're laying your burdens down. You are the boss. No more laboring for others. You are in partnership with the Most High, and you're going to be running your own empire. You're going to be running your own business. And this business is going to be, your gifts. You're laying your burdens down. You went in to go heal. You went through a lot of struggle, a lot of hardship, because you were carrying burdens that did not belong to you, burdens that you was never supposed to be carrying. But it made you, of course it made you stronger, but it was like something got so hard for you until you had to go and rest. You had to go heal. You needed that time to think, to be free, so the Most High could talk to you. Man, it says you or the querent, a person boyfriend, fiance, spouse, love interest, masculine energy. So you could be a woman, and this could be, a relationship, ring of keys, change of heart. You had a change of heart about a relationship, a marriage. You're definitely having a change of heart right now. Your growth is like you're outgrowing someone. You're gaining your power and your freedom back. You hold the keys to whatever it is that whatever door you want to open. And if you hold the keys to any door you want to open, you can close any door that you want to close as well. And if you are a man, this is just maybe a woman in her masculine energy that you're wanting to get away from. And this also could be someone that slept on you as well. But I'm really feeling that, this could be someone who had many options, and, they couldn't really see your true power, who you really were, because you was carrying a lot of burdens. Maybe you were in a poverty situation where you didn't look like you had much. So it's almost like people would say, well, how could you be the empress if you don't have anything? If you can't manifest and bring in, if what, you can't attract things to you. And you're manifesting your way out of this, out of whatever conflict this is. It could be inner conflict, conflict with other people. You're manifesting your way out of a burdensome situation. It's like you want to lay this to rest once and for all. Whoever this person is, this could be, someone you married because of family traditions. You got with this person before you knew who you were. And maybe it always felt like a burden because you were with the wrong person. You were with a person that meant to, I just saw the High Priestess again. You're with a person, you chose this person when you were in an unhealed state. You could have picked a partner because of family traditions and what society says. You're not gonna let anyone block your manifestations. You're taking the last bit of energy that you have is in this to have a new beginning somewhere else. You just don't want whatever this is. This relationship, you don't want it. You finally waking up to who you really are. You're doing the work on yourself, and this person possibly not doing the work either. But even if they do the work, the healing work, I just feel like you just know that this is not your person. And even if they did do their own healing work, you still would just grow apart. But this person wouldn't be latching on to you. You want to have this new beginning. You definitely want to take this leap of faith. You in this full energy and you ready to jump into who you really are. You're jumping into your divinity. It's almost like you went into your awakening. You were shown the truth and you believed it the first time it was revealed to you, because it's like deep down you already knew it since you're the High Priestess. You just couldn't explain it. You had no real access to really do anything about it. Because because of different structures and family beliefs. Told to take this one. Yeah, your boundaries is breaking hearts. Yeah, you want something new. You setting boundaries. Whoever this is, you're setting boundaries with them. And for some of you, you could even be your pastor you setting boundaries with. That might be for one person. But yeah, your boundaries is breaking hearts. I just was going to say your stubbornness. So some people are viewing you as being stubborn. Like I said earlier, going through a midlife crisis. Maybe that's what they thinking, that you're going through a midlife crisis and that you're wearing this mask, you're putting on a show, but this is who you really are. you're a spiritual person. You were never meant to stay underneath anybody's dogma. You were always meant to awaken and work for the Most High, not for man. Two of Swords to the Queen of Wands. They wanted you to stay indecisive, you know. They wanted you to be indecisive because, if you were indecisive, they can hold on to you longer. You wouldn't take action toward this. So yeah, so that's where someone may come in and try to confuse you, and they're hoping that you would just stay. They just don't want you to leave, even though you may not even be happy there. You're healing from all the stress and all the heartbreak, the heartache, the emotional pain anybody has caused you. This man in particular. But you setting boundaries is breaking hearts because you're healing. See, if you would have stayed in this unhealed state, then you would be indecisive. So even though you may not be happy where you were, you just stay for whatever reason. It's almost like if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you with. That's bullshit. Because I'd rather be by myself. If I can't be with, if you can't be with your emperor or your real counterpart, someone that matches you to the soul, what's the point? No, that's those old slavery sayings just to keep you in bondage. I feel if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you with. How about if you can't be with the one who loves you and you love them at the same time? How about we just be single? How about that? I don't even know if you guys can't even see. Anyway, this is the band here. Page of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Some of you may have a child in your environment that's, you may be paying child support for, or they just draining the pockets. You may have a couple of children that you're giving to, but or maybe these are older children, older teenagers, and it's going to take all of your strength to hold back from letting them drain you financially. Clock. Perfect timing. So maybe it's you coming to the end of paying child support, or maybe they getting ready to be adults where, you're not going to be in this energy of always having to shell out. And also you want somebody who can stand the test of time, who can give you equally. Maybe whoever, if this not, a child in your environment that's, getting money from you, because for a lot of you, it may be, if you have teenagers, we already know how that is. I have teenagers and they drain in the pockets. Absolutely. But you may be tired of people's, adults showing up as children, as one of your children that you always have to give to. Ring of Keys, change of heart. Yeah, you're changing. The things that you were programmed to do, you don't want to do anymore. And that's what I'm seeing. You're coming out of it. You are a person that's went into your awakening and you answered that call when Gabriel rang that trumpet. I don't think you're a person that gave any resistance to your awakening. Others around you are trying to keep you trapped. They trying to keep you from, having this inspiration to go. Maybe because this is a lonely journey. And so they may know that they cannot come on this journey with you. Whoever want to keep you bound and trapped, maybe they were hoping that you would stand, that if you have been victimized, that you stayed a victim. And you will always be in this adolescent energy that you will always need help. Somebody wants you to, if you're in a situation where you need somebody's help, they want you to stay that way. They don't want things to change. They know time is running out. That was your past, present, and they want that to be your future. That's what they want. They want this to be this energy. They want you to stay in this energy of always needing help. Because they may feel like if you stay in that energy, you will feel small. You will feel like an adolescent. You won't be able to step into this Empress energy to actually manifest the things that you really want and desire, the things that you deserve. So even though you're stepping up as this high priestess, they still want in some way for you to stay trapped, or maybe they hoping that you feel some type of an obligation to them, so you won't free yourself from them. So this could even be a person that was religious and they're going to let you be, they think you're going through a phase and they're going to go ahead and let you take that spiritual route because they want to just hold on to you. That might be for somebody. That the person is totally against this type of lifestyle, but they'll let you do it to a certain extent, or they're going to pretend so they can keep you around longer. Somebody just don't want you to be able to be independent and not need anybody's help. They want you to always need a handout. So whoever's in your current environment, if this is resonating with you, whoever this is, no matter what they're saying, they really don't want you to get unstuck. They want to keep you bound. And maybe they chose you to be in a relationship with you because they thought that was the level that you were on. And those are the people they go after, people who, don't really know who they are. And they don't really make that much money, so they can keep them trapped. But whatever this is, you already know this. And this is somebody's truth. Even if this person is saying one thing, you know the truth because you're the high priestess behind whatever it is that they're saying. And you're still staying focused on mastering your craft. They can't those days of being a victim are over. When I always say, when you don't heal from when someone victimized you, when you don't heal from that, you end up turning into your perpetrator. That's why a lot of people, hurt people type of energy. But if you heal from being a victim, they can no longer keep you victimized. You're an overcomer. You're no longer a victim. They wanted you to stay, if life wasn't fair to you, they want you to stay in that victim mentality. And then one day you will be so unfulfilled until you will turn into a perpetrator. You might even do that to your own children, not really trying to. They wanted you to be like this. This could be this could be even a parent that raised you like that. You were traumatized and victimized as a child, as an adolescent. And they never wanted you to turn that trauma, that pain into power. And you are. You are. Ace of Swords to the Tower. You are turning that pain into power. You're no longer this victim. They want you to stay that way. So no matter what this person is saying to you, you know the truth. You know the truth about how they really feel. Even if they act like they all for you being in this High Priestess energy. Yeah, this could be also someone family, someone you live with. This is going to be a relationship, a love interest, a husband, a wife, someone you have some type of a partnership with. This person may even want to buy a house with you. They may want both of y'all to be on a contract to hold on to you even more. But if this is the case, you already know it. They may want you to sign a new lease where both of you are on the lease, or buy a property where both of you are on the property, because they want to keep ties to you. They don't want you to have a choice, or an easy choice to let them go. They're trying to buy themselves some more time. So if this is your story and somebody wants y'all to buy a home or move or buy property or buy anything where both of you are on a contract, they're trying to buy time. Yeah, they want to stall you out. They want to stall you out. You know this truth though already. You already know. And this tower is going to fall for them when you go ahead and walk on out of their life. It's like you patiently waited your turn, and when it's your turn, you gonna just walk the hell on, causing towers for whoever you're walking away from, right? Because you're strong enough. You have the strength. You have the inner strength. So no matter how much someone has victimized you, or you've been victimized, in your youth, you're strong. You were able to overcome this. You were able to not stay a victim. You don't even have a victim mentality. They wanted you to just have those chains to stay on your strength wanting to come out. They wanted those chains to stay on your mind, so you wouldn't get those downloads from the Most High, so you don't have that relationship. This is strictly you having a relationship with the Most High that they wanted to interfere with. It's like they knew who you were before. Okay, should I say this? The demons attached to them knew who you were before you did. And strength still came out to the moon. They didn't want you to see your power. They wanted that to stay hidden. Whoever you are, they never wanted they wanted that part of you to stay hidden. They wanted you to stay in page and night energy. Stay in this reckless, impulsive energy. You working hard, you going to and fro, you're using your sexual energy wrong. That's what they wanted. You to keep doing those reckless things so you wouldn't be able to have that relationship to the Most High. You wouldn't be able to see how powerful you are. They didn't want you to see your strength. They wanted that to stay hidden. On target. Absolutely. But you are focused. You a straight shooter. If once before you hid your feelings and your emotions, you healing and going through this healing work, they cannot put a lid on you. They can't mess with your throat chakra anymore. They can't they can't silence you. They wanted to silence you. And they use this, whatever strategy they use, it was to keep you in bondage. Ship, going places. But you selling away from that shit. You the straight shooter now. You causing towers. They cannot keep you from speaking your truth. You're supposed to tell what happened to you. Speak your truth. Give your testimony. They cannot keep you quiet anymore. They cannot break your connection to the ethers, to the Most High. That's why things wasn't happening for you. They blocked your connection. They blocked your connection to the Most High. That's what they did. Absolutely. That connection is wide open because you had the strength to break out from underneath this structure, and you did this shit with no help. You did the emotional work yourself. Even if you're a person that had a spouse, they wasn't no help. They wanted to keep you stuck with them. If anything, they added more burdens to you. But this connection is wide open. Heart chakra, wide open. Crown, wide open. Third eye, wide open. And this is going to bring you in your finances. The Most High is going to pay you. The Most High will find your clients and bring them to you. You just got to put yourself out there so you can be found. I just heard I once was lost, now I'm found. Yeah. You need to put yourself out there so they can find you. You're no longer a wanderer, somebody's lost child, because you realize you're the child of the Most High. Absolutely. You have that partnership with the Most High, and you taking action on this. This is what you're taking. This is the love of your life. This is your destined, where this is part of your destiny. What your soul incarnated to come and do. This is your soul's path, and you're on it. You're in sync with the Most High. You in partnership with the Most High. And if you want a partnership, a true mate, you can have that too. You are in alignment for it. But you just seem like a person that, you want true love. But you had to become your first true love. You had to get that connection, you had to get that connection back to the Most High. Because you always had it, but they were blocking it with their structures and traditions, and you being treated poorly. And there also could be a person that you could have had a counterpart that you already met, and they did treat you poorly. They didn't see who you were. They didn't see that you was the Empress. And they left the Empress out in the cold because it looked like the Empress didn't have the finances they thought that she should have. So if you did encounter a real high level soulmate, twin, flame, whatever, if you know, as a high priestess, you already know if somebody was your person or not. They're having sleepless nights. They are missing your love. This person is crying a fucking river. This person is deep in their emotions. And this person is deeply in, oh, I get it. This person was shallow. So they couldn't feel their soul. They couldn't feel that real soul connection to you because they were shallow. They were surface level. They probably just thought they were very sexually attracted to you, and that was all there was. They're deep in their emotions. This person is crying in the fucking shower. All I see is the fucking tears here. This person is crying in their pillow. They are crying underneath the shadow of the moon. So every time that sun goes down, this person is deep in their emotions. They're crying at night. They're up crying at night. You'll never know it though, unless they tell you or you catch them. But I don't think this is a person that you are around. Okay, keep going. This person breadcrumbed you. Didn't I say everything was surface level? Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, all surface. They breadcrumbed you. They were supposed to get to know you, study who you were. Something deeper was supposed to form. They were supposed to water the seed that was planted, between you two. They never watered you. They never even planted the seed with you. This person never went past surface level. So this could be a twin, a fallen counterpart, a high level soulmate that was supposed to be your forever partner. They are in deep agony, deep regret, and they miss you. I felt that. They miss you. They miss you. I almost want to cry for this person. Whew. Okay. Well, wow. Let's see any more, last messages. Let's see any last, let's do the Kipper, because the Kipper, if it's some mess, the Kipper can find it. Last messages. Yeah, something is over. Bad health and coughing. Something is over. You've changed. You might be even ready to move away from the people who wanted to keep you in bondage. But there is a relationship. A person could even be in bad health. And my condolences if someone passed away already or will. But I'm just feeling like there is you're changing. You're ending things with people in relationships with people that no longer serve your highest good, because these relationships were on deathbed anyway. April 19th could be significant to someone. April 9th, September 19th, September 10th, September the 1st, April the 1st, April the 10th. Yeah, but you're changing. You've changed a lot. You've grown a lot. That's the change. These people don't want to change. But for whoever you are, this is beautiful for you. You're answering your call. That's it. You're answering your call, and they're gonna be ups and downs. You're gonna, sometimes your emotions gonna be up, sometimes they're gonna be down. Sometimes you're gonna be crying a lot, you've been purging, because you just, you're getting all that stuff out. You may even feel your emotions a lot better now. You're very sensitive already. But the more you heal, the lighter you are, the lighter your heart is, the more sensitive you are to your gifts. For somebody, this could be a death notification. That's the first thing I saw when I saw official person and message of concern. So maybe you are someone who already had a death notification. My condolences. Or if you get that in the future, of course, we all transition at some point. So it's a part of life, but energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just goes into another form. It transforms into something else. This is our earth suit. Once the earth suit is gone, we have to get either another earth suit, another vehicle. We go somewhere else, but and for those that this is not a physical ending, a physical death, this is just going to be very concerning. Like if you're leaving a long-term relationship or a marriage, it's like it's going to be nothing but shock. This is going to be concerning. This might be the people that's trying to come in to stop you from having this new beginning, because they thinking that is a midlife crisis for you. I keep hearing that midlife crisis, and this is not a midlife crisis. You're taking the mask off. You stepping into who you really were, and not who people told you you are. May 22nd, May the 4th may mean something to someone. Three of Swords, and this, well, it's in the reverse, but this is like you recovering from every heartache, heartbreak that you've gone through. This ending was supposed to happen. It was always supposed to, make you stronger, but you're healing. Anything that, broke your heart in the past, that put you into this, this is bad energy. This, put you kind of in that Five of Pentacles, in poverty, just, in lack, not feeling good about yourself, not wanting to get out of bed. That's over with the Three of Swords in the reverse. That is over. That's coming to an end. And if it hasn't happened yet, it's in the near future. But whoever you are, you already answered your calling. You're in it. Like, you're walking towards your north node. You already took this leap of faith to do this. You probably did this silently. You could still be in the same atmosphere as everybody else, but this is the walk you're walking, and they can see it, and they can feel these endings. So you probably already cut off a lot of people, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why they see these endings coming, because you already ended a lot. Because when you go through an awakening, the purge is real. Yeah, you walking away. Yeah, you walking away. 8 of Cups. You walking away from a relationship, a long term partnership. Um, Someone that you had to pour so much love into. It's almost like you're emotionally exhausted. You ready just to put it to rest. You already walked away emotionally before you even ended anything. So you can still be in this situation with someone, but they feel the ending coming. They feel this ending coming. Ten of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this person that had an official spot in your life could have been, like I said, a spouse. Whoever this person who had a official spot, a long-term partnership, 10 of Pentacles, family, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. There is nothing, no more work to be done. This relationship has run its course. There is no growth. No growth. So it's like everything that you've gotten out of this relationship, everything you were supposed to learn has already been learned, but there is no growth. So if you stay in a place where you really don't want to be and there is no love, you're going to start declining. You can start declining in your physical appearance, in your health, in your finances, because it's like this 4 of Cups. You're somewhere that you don't want to be. You don't feel the love. When you with people that you love, in relationships with people that you are in love with, growth happens. You grow. You get better. You could have started letting things go because you were so unhappy. This is like being very, very unhappy, and you just don't want to work on anything. Maybe somebody will ask you to work on things, or let's go to counseling or something. But you in this energy, like, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Knight of Wands, 3 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. You looking at your new opportunity. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at this new opportunity that the Most High presented to you, to be in partnership with the Most High. And as you come into partnership with the Most High, you will, if you want a counterpart, you will have a counterpart. You will, because you had to go through a very, very deep transformation. You went through a lot of heartache and grief from past relationships. But you will be in alignment to have new. That's it. Whatever you want, you can bring that in. You just have to be in alignment. You be more, on that healing journey, and you don't accept anybody who's not doing the work. You vet them. You test the fruit to see if it's good or not. A lot of you may even be reluctant to show deep feelings. Like if you when you start having deep feelings for someone, you might be reluctant to show these feelings, but you're not, you're rejecting in this indecisive energy that these people wanted you to stay in. You're rejecting that, and somebody may even be fearing that you're cheating, but no matter what this is, some of people just may be mixed about it, mixed, feeling, mixed if you are or not. But no matter what you're doing, it doesn't really matter because you don't belong with this person. So you might not even be doing anything, but you just don't belong with this person. But anyway, collective, I think this was a beautiful reading of someone getting on their divine path. You're going to have a lot of people that you're going to be selling away from. And look at the ring, diamond ring underneath there. So as you sell away from people, you can be going right into a commitment. March 25th, March the 10th, you can be selling right into a new commitment with a person, because we already know you already selling towards a partnership with the Most High. Okay? Because you are that precious diamond. You had to go through a lot of shit to be this diamond. You were made under pressure. You were made under pressure. And you turned out to be a beautiful diamond. Yeah. So you're going to get exactly what you know you're worth. Because I see a lot of people who I think are awesome, and they don't think so. So they end up with the person that they really don't want to be with, or they end up on the job they don't want. They always end up in a situation that they didn't want. They wanted you to stay in this energy, collective. You have to know your value. You have to know you the empress, even if you don't have but 5 nickels to rub together, because you already know that it starts in the unseen first before it comes to the 3D. You have to give yourself a break. You've grown a lot, and when you come here underneath strong delusions, very delusional people, they have you under a strong delusion because they're delusional. They're under a lot of illusions. They never wanted to break out and see the truth. They never wanted to cut through the truth. That's not your fault. But you came here to break yourself free. So, give yourself a break. Even if you're older and it's taking some time. I know how you feel. Absolutely. I know how you feel. But it's beautiful to answer the call, because this road is actually easier, but what makes it difficult is society and the people that are the closest to you. And the hardest thing to do on this journey is go through the healing, especially once you've been, hurt so many times. That is the hardest part of this journey. Healing is very, very hard, but the journey itself, you can flow right into it. But the healing part, it's tough. And once you get through enough healing and you're just smooth sailing, you leave all these people behind that no longer serves your highest good. Let them say what they want to say. Let them say they're a user, they're this. Let them say whatever they want to say. You woke up and answered the call, and now you following the Most High. And when you follow the Most High, when you start healing, you start getting the things that you deserve. So the things that you don't deserve start dropping off, whether they made themselves drop off or you had to release them, because you want to get what you deserve. And you're willing to be independent on your own until you get it. And that's why they don't want you to be that independent person. So you can never really get what you deserve, especially the partnerships. But you're doing very well. You're doing well. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep going on your path, no matter what anybody says. And I see whoever you are, you don't give a damn about what nobody say. you are doing that's what's best for you, and not what's best for everybody else. And by you doing what's best for you, by taking your role as a high priestess, you're doing what's best for the greater good, for the Most High. Okay, so you're leading by example. So good for you. Sorry, for everybody else. That's not your problem. But anyway, if this was your reading, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you like how I deliver my messages. Um, yeah, and also I had another reading earlier today. If you want to check that reading out, it was earlier this morning. But anyway, or check out any other videos that you haven't seen of mine. But I love you all, and I will see you on the next reading. I will be back tomorrow. My normal hours I'm right now are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Fridays and Saturdays, I will do 2 readings. Maybe do 2 readings for Sunday, but I'm not sure. I was gonna do a reading every day, but once my views come up, I will be delivering a message. I will be posting every day, but I just don't really see a point to post every day. But I will be posting Thursday through Sunday. Fridays and Saturdays, definitely 2 readings for those days. Sundays, I'm not sure about if it's going to be just 1 or 2. Okay. But anyway, I love you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.